Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. I just wanted to take some time and share a few things with you that I've made this weekend. First, let me say Saturday Morning Makes, it's a hashtag. It's not a hop per se, it's more of a weekly event, and you just use the hashtag SatMornMakes, stands for Saturday Morning Makes, and that will pull up a plethora of videos for everyone that's participating. And it's just creators coming together to share heart, H-E, capital A, capital R, capital T. And it was the brainchild of the sweet Miss Jillian Norwood of Greenwood Girl Cards, and she invites everybody who wants to participate. All you have to do is use that hashtag and share your video each week, or even just one week, whatever you want to do. So for this week, I still at a loss for mojo, but decided to just pull some stuff out of my stash. So these are a few backgrounds that I made. Actually, these two and these two were just created by smushing up excess Posca pens on my desk. So I like to use my Posca pens for splatter. And you know, splatter goes everywhere, so I always will mop that up. However, obviously I didn't use these, but that was kind of my starting point. And then I thought, ooh, I'll finish this fall background. No, I didn't get to that either. And then these two I also think are gorgeous. This one is actually left over from a card or a couple. Was it a tag? I don't know, something I did last fall. And then this again was created by mopping up some acrylic paint. You can see the copper in there, the greens, the browns, the reds. And then I just used some crackle paste. I don't know how well you can see the crackle in that, but it's through a stencil from a Colorful Life Designs. So those are the ones I didn't make. Let me show you what I did make. So I created this little tag. This was another piece of cardstock that I just used to mop up some more of the Posca pens. So it was yellows and browns, or yellows and blacks and gray. And then I used another stencil from a Colorful Life Designs. It is this one, if I can get it to come out. Let me see if I can find the name. Double Cross Texture. And so you can see that texture in the background. I just used some of my paste and just went through there, and I thought it was really fun. And then I have a couple of, these aren't, I don't think, necessarily supposed to be tags, but they are from an art journal die set, a create your own art journal die set from Art by Marlene from Studio Light. And I took them out because I really loved that kind of arabesque shape. And anyway, they're sitting on my desk, and I decided that I wanted to use these. I don't know if you can see that mess, but I just smudged all of the Glossiac or crystal glaze in the middle of the flowers. Anyway, I used the frame because I wanted the flowers to stand out a little bit more. And the flowers are from it's new to me, this stamp set from Visible Image called Daisy Grunge. And they were so cute and so easy to paint up. I actually used this one on another tag, and I'll show you that one in a minute. But they were stamped out on Bristol Smooth, and I just used this watercolor set that I purchased on Amazon. It's from Gonzai Tombi Kuretake. I always associate those names all together, Gonzai Tombi Kuretake, but Kuretake. It's Kuretake Zig, right? Anyway, I'll get it right. There, Kuretake Gonzai Tombi. I'm not crazy. Anyway, love these. You can see that they're getting some use and some love, and I'm not worried about mixing my colors, but that's what I use to color this guy up, and I think it's really pretty. I wanted to pull the yellows out of that background, And then the You Are My Sunshine, that is an oldie from Simon Says Stamp. In fact, it's probably one of the first word dies that I ever bought. You are my sunshine. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Anyway, I thought it was really happy, and I love it. Oh, and that's where I smudged the what is it called? Oh, my words. I hate doing these videos and be at a loss for words. Nouveau Crystal Glaze. I put in the center of each of the flowers, and then unfortunately I stacked them up. So yeah, so we'll set that aside. So, but that's that sweet little tag. And I decided that yes, I wanted to make it into a tag, but I did not want to like round my corners or anything. And then this was a mess. This was just a scrap in my stash. But I added this little piece of trim, and I'll show you the bolt of trim in a little bit. I've shared that before, but just added that little trim. That it added just a little bit of, I don't know, a finishing touch, I don't know. But it also pulled out some of that white and gave it a little bit of brightness. So for my next tag, this is where I use the big sunflower from the Daisy Grunge, and I use the same You Are My Sunshine. This frame is from this die set from the Stamp Market. It is called, there we go, Scallop Frame, because it has the scallop frame, and then it has this smaller frame, and then it has the word Hi. Super sweet, super sweet. And I won that. I can't remember the circumstances, but I remember that I won that. Now on the very back, I don't know how well you can see, but you see these the little stenciling there. That is from this stencil from A Colorful Life Designs. I think it's called Teeny Harlequin. Yep, Teeny Harlequin. One of my favorites. Love, love, love this. But I also used the texture one as well. I don't know how well you can see that there. But I was playing with my sprays one day last summer. My neighbor was over and we were just playing, trying to learn the sprays a little bit more. And I just loved how this turned out. I thought it was so pretty, but then I didn't want to use it. It's been sitting in my stash for a year, and it's gorgeous. I also used this stamp. It's from one of the Tim Holtz stamp sets. I think it was the Gothic Skull. Is that what it's called? But I think it's from that stamp set. But I just used a little bit of Vintage Photo and just stamped it in a few places, because I really wanted to pull out the words that are part of this stamp. You see it has the words in there. And of course I had to add some more splatter to both of them. And I love them. Super happy, super fun, sweet, sweet. Speaking of sweet, I have this one. This one was again mostly just created by absorbing excess Posca pen. And then I use this fun stencil, again from A Colorful Life Designs. I have been invited to guest design for A Colorful Life Designs. I used to be on the design team, but then life happened and I had to step down, and they've invited me back for the month of June. And I have just been playing and playing, and I know the name of this stencil is on here, but I'm not seeing it. But anyway, just returned to my first love, and I always call A Colorful Life Designs my first love. I adore them, adore the stencils. I adore the owner, Miss Mary Kay. I adore the design team. Everybody's amazing. Then I just did the sopping up and the splatter and all of that. I also splattered some sheer shimmer spray in the color Sparkle. I'm sure you can see that. It's from Imagine Crafts. And that gave it that little sparkle, and of course I added some little trims, and I'll pull out my trims now. Oh, dropping things. So this trim, it's right here, and it's also what I use to make the tie, and again the bottom of this one. Now these are from Dollar Tree. I finished the first one, but I'm still kind of preserving, if you will, reserving the others. Now this trim is this guy right here. I've used it before. It's probably my favorite on this bolt, but really, really love it. But I also put it on that. And then of course I used a little bit of this. Now this hemp cord is from a store, I don't know if it's local or national. It's called Pop Shelf. And I used the black on that for this one. And that may be it. That may be it. But all right, so there we have all of that. This stencil that I adore. Let me see this little guy. So we know about those things. Let me set them aside. We also know about the crystal glaze. We know about the sheer shimmer spray. These sweet, sweet things. Now the sweet word is from Whimsy. It's 3 layers. I love it. It's a very sweet script, and it also has a stitching detail to the back layer. You can see there. And then another shadow layer, and then the word. So I love that. They have several word dies that fit this font and fit this style. And then this set is called, why don't I know, Otter Variety 1, which implies there's more otter varieties, and that is true. This is the stamp that I used, and I just colored them up with my Olo markers, and again mounted them up on some foam tape just above this kind of that landing spot, if you will, with the lace. And again, use the Nouveau Crystal Glaze on their eyes and their noses, and that was that. So let me set that aside. I'm almost done. The last thing that I have to share with you today is this little card. So I had this tag, again created with the sunglass stencil from A Colorful Life Designs, and my distress spray stains. And it was just really happy and really fun. And again, it's been sitting in my stash. But this one just to me was like summer sun. I didn't want to do any grunginess to it. I didn't add any splatter. I didn't add anything to this, to be honest. This is just the way it was. But I really wanted to kind of pop that off of some either black or white neutral, but I decided to go with both. So this black and white paper is actually leftover. They're not glassine bags, but they're little flat paper bags. And these are from Honeybee. And I've been holding on to these for years, and I usually will just use them as a trim. But on this one, I wanted the whole background, and I used a die from Whimsy. I believe it was this one. Wonky stitched rectangles, and you can see that I cut that out. And I wasn't sure how that was gonna do going through my my die cutting machine, but it did just fine. So if you like bags that you get your stuff in, if you like any packaging, keep it, use it, find a use for it. Not only are we helping the environment, but it's also using that creativity in a very different way. Now I use this sweet little panda bear. It's this guy from the Panda Butt. See, there's a little panda butt. So the set is named Panda Butt. And the Hello Sunshine is again from Visible Image. And it has disappeared, and I'm sure that I sat it somewhere. There it is, the Hello Sunshine. The only stamp I didn't use on this was the Smile. I've used that on another project. Oh, I also didn't use the Fallen Petals. I think that's a really sweet touch. But there you go. So, guys, thank you again for spending some time with me. It's been a week or so since I've been able to do a Saturday morning makes. But I just wanted to share with you what I've been working on. I have design team projects that are coming up due and different things, but this is kind of where my attention's been this weekend. Life is still hard, as it is for most of us, and you know, we find peace in the opportunities to do the things that bring us peace as we can, right? So those are my 4 projects to share with you this morning. Thank you again for spending time with me. Thank you, Miss Jillian Norwood, for thinking of this. This whole concept is just amazing, and I'm honored to be able to participate. So guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me. And I'd love it so much if you'd meet me downstairs in the comments. Let me know your favorite. Let me know what you'd like to see from me. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, and come back next time because there's plenty more to come. So until next time, y'all, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Mwah! I'm out.